Hello, 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 everybody. I think we are now live. Just need to double check that we are live, and we are live. Well, good afternoon, everybody, on the final day of June. My name is Brooks. Welcome back to MUFC MPB here over on YouTube, of course, the original Twitter page. My name is Brooks, and today is the 30th of June. We do have a bit of new news according to Manchester Evening News, and as you can tell by the thumbnail, it is regarding one half of McFred, the magical band that we have in the middle of the park, consisting of MCTOMINAY and Fred, does look to be under danger, under threat. Listen, I don't think that anything is actually going to happen. I don't think that MCTOMINAY is going to be sold or anything like that, but according to Jack Flintham, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. He is a journalist that does write for the Manchester Evening News. Contrary to reports, as I can see from a comment from James Mullins, Erik ten Hag is prepared to listen to offers for McTominay. Now, that doesn't mean that there is an offer there on the table already for the midfielder. It just means that if an offer does come in of a reasonable value and something that Ten Hag and the board think is acceptable, there might be a departure. As I said, I don't think he's going to leave. I personally wouldn't sell him. I'm not his biggest fan, but I do think that given the amount of games that we probably will be playing next season, in the multiple competitions that we are in, I think he would be a good squad player. But, I mean, with the imminent arrival of Frankie de Jong, I do think Scott McTominay will be losing his place. I think the midfield partnership would and probably should be Frankie de Jong and Fred, because in Fred you have a midfielder who isn't a CDM by trade, but I think he is better defensively than McTominay and Frankie de Jong, if you want to say it like that. I think that you have, I don't know, it's such a tricky thing to say, because for the past few years we've been stuck with McFred in the midfield, and they've come in for so much criticism, whether that is justified or unjustified. I think at times it has been justified. Obviously, some people might take it a bit too far, but with Fred, you have someone there who's good defensively. It's not his best attribute, and I think he would partner well with Frankie de Jong in the midfield. I think you have two agile players who can get across the ground quite quickly. Obviously, in Frankie de Jong, you have a specialist technical player. You have someone who's very, very good on the ball, and you have someone who can link the defense and attack with ease. He's done that for Ajax, he's done that for the Netherlands, and he's done that for Barcelona, where he currently does play now. I think the acquisition will be very, very good. I have some more news on Frankie de Jong's imminent arrival later on, but I think that it will be a better partnership than McTominay and Frankie de Jong in the midfield. That's not to say that Ten Hag might not see something in McTominay after the pre-season tour, and choose to play him next to de Jong. But I personally think that the better partnership would be, what would you be able to call it? Frankie Fred? I don't know. We'll think of something. I think that will be a better partnership for the midfield. I might as well go to the Frankie de Jong news now. Politico, quite a reliable source, are saying that Frankie de Jong could be presented at the weekend by Manchester United, which would obviously go against what I said yesterday, or what I thought, saying Tyrell Malacia might be our first signing. There's a chance they could be presented at the same time, which I think would be very positive for Manchester United. It will be able to kickstart our transfer window. Good afternoon, Ron. And hello, Joe. How are you doing today, guys? I think that if we're able to present both of them at the weekend, I think that will be very good. It will, obviously, after what happened last week with the Glazers taking out 11 million in dividends, I think it will put a smile on a few people's faces. Obviously won't, disguise or hide the fact that we are run by thieves. I'd call them thieves. But I'm very, very hopeful that this deal can get done very quickly, because we do need to get done. We need to get it sorted. The tour is coming up very soon. Frankie de Jong currently is in LA and apparently will be there for the next couple of nights, but I don't know. I go to places sometimes and I say I'm going to be there for a couple of days, and then I think that, oh, I'm having a good time here, I'm going to stay for a few more days. That might happen with Dion, we don't know. But I'm hopeful that he will be presented at the weekend as per Pletigo. Now, there was a lot of questions yesterday about what Gerard Moreno's bombshell news was going to be. At the time, I didn't know, but I do know what the news is now. He said he was waiting for it to be announced or told to him that he could publish the news. The news is Manchester United, Barcelona are preparing or have been preparing a farewell video for Frenkie de Jong. Now, obviously, if you know anything about transfers, if you know anything about life, I guess, if you're preparing a farewell video for someone or something, they're gone. We have them at Manchester United. We had them with Pogba, Mata. Did we have one for Matic? I'm not 100% sure. But obviously, they are not part of Manchester United anymore. Pogba's gone back to Juve. I'm not sure where Mata's going, but it looks like Frenkie de Jong is over the line. I guess it's just pending a medical now. That's just me. I haven't got that from a source. But if they're preparing a farewell video, I can pretty much say we have de Jong. I'm in the 100% club. Barring a miracle, or in our case, a nightmare, or another club coming in with a better offer that Frenkie de Jong wants to go to, I can't see him going anywhere else apart from Manchester United. Now, as I said before, Frenkie de Jong next to Fred in the midfield would be my ideal partnership for what we have. I know some people are going to say, oh, but we have James Garner coming back. And obviously there is a 2 loan rule in the Premier League now. Nottingham Forest will be getting Dean Henderson, probably, most probably. And they're also looking at Curtis Jones from Liverpool. If we were in a position where we couldn't loan out James Garner, where do you think he could go in the Premier League? Obviously, I'd want him to go to a Premier League, but where do you think he could go to a reasonable club on loan in the Premier League? And also, if we were able to get rid of McTominay, who else would you want to bring in to replace him? Because obviously we are getting de Jong. I can't see. Sorry, I'm just getting a tweet from the man himself, MUFC. Let me just read this quickly. If he's watching this, which I think he is, yes, I do have them in the itinerary here, and they will be discussed very shortly. There's a couple more. Well, what was I saying? Who else would you want to bring in if we were able to get rid of McTominay? Bearing in mind we do have Fred. We still currently have Andreas Pereira. Obviously, we're going to get Frenkie de Jong. We have McTominay still. Garner, sorry. That's 4 midfielders that I counted on my hand. I can't really think of anything else. Who else do we have in the midfield? I know we have someone else in the midfield. We have Eriksen probably. We have Eriksen probably on the way. You can't land 2 players from the same club on loan. Oh, so it's the same club. So you can have more than 2 players on loan, but they just can't be from the same club. Okay, so Garner can't go back to Nottingham Forest if Dean Henderson does complete his move there. Where would you want him to go in the Premier League? I'd be thinking a team like Brentford or something like Donny van der Beek. That's the other person, Donny van der Beek. I'd be thinking a team like Brentford or one of the promoter clubs like Fulham. I need him to get. I really do need him to get Premier League experience. I know he had a great season in the Championship last year. He obviously helped Forest get promoted to the Premier League, but he won't. I can't see him getting into this United side unless he performs miracles on the pre-season tour and convinces Ten Hag that he's ready to start for Manchester United next season next to de Jong. I can't see him playing. I don't run the Twitter account. But I don't know. He's a young player. He just had a full season last season, so you can't bring him back in and just not give him game time. It's like Twanzebe. We can't have another situation where Twanzebe plays in a championship, gets their loan club promoted, and then comes and sits back on the bench, because look what's happened to him. He's been back on loan at Aston Villa, didn't get game time there. I also believe he went on loan to Napoli, but didn't get game time there. Now it looks like his career's just taken a bit of a stop. It's tough. It's a tough one for Ghana. I hope I really, really do hope either he comes back to Manchester United, performs well on the pre-season tour, and then convinces Ten Hag that he's able to start games for Manchester United. I just don't want a situation where he comes back in, sits on the bench for the first month or two, maybe plays a couple of games here and there, starts a couple. I don't want that. I want him to either play for Manchester United first team or go out on loan, which I think is the more reasonable and realistic option. It's a sticky one for him. I think obviously he came through the academy, and that when you go through the academy somewhere, you do have a sort of, oh, I don't want to leave because this is my club. He might be thinking that, but I think at the same time he has to think, am I going to get game time here? What's the best option for my career? Because you never know. He could go on loan. He could go on loan for maybe 1 or 2 years and come back and be completely ready to start for us in the midfield. And then I think that will probably be the best option. But I just can't see him getting game time this year. But a bit more of Frankie de Jong. If for the new guys that have just joined, Romero's news yesterday was that Barcelona have prepared a farewell video for him, which means he's effectively gone. You can pretty much say, why I'm in the 100%. I believe he will be holding up the new Manchester United top, which coincidentally is getting released tomorrow. Maybe the stars are aligning there. Maybe that might just be too much of a coincidence, but I think it makes perfect sense to have Frankie de Jong unveiled on the weekend, as well as Terrell Malacia, who might be revealed at the same time. But it is looking like they will both be here before the beginning of the tour, which does start just in a couple of weeks. Speaking of Romero, not the goalkeeper, but now the goalkeeper, Manchester Evening News journalist Richard Fay, or Rich Fay, I think that's his actual name. There's no formal interest in Sergio Romero's comeback to Manchester United, but he is open to a return. We've been linked with Bachmann from Watford, I believe. We've been linked with Sam Johnston, former Manchester United keeper, but those rumours seem to have been, quashed and, stuck in the mud. Romero was the best backup keeper I think anybody could wish for, and I really don't understand why he received the treatment he did, to be perfectly honest with you. He was the perfect person. He understands the role. He's not like Dean Henderson. If anything, he might even be better than Dean Henderson, but he has a mindset of De Gea is the first choice. Pardon. Obviously, I want to fight for my place, but I fully understand that I'm going to be playing in the Europa League games. I'm going to be playing in cup games. I'm not going to be the first choice keeper. And when he did come in, he kept 39 clean sheets in 50 or 60 something games, which is an amazing record. I just don't see why we got rid of him. I don't understand why. It's never something that made sense to me, but he is open apparently for a return. And I'd be all over that. It wouldn't be expensive. He wouldn't be on high wages, and I think it would tick off another checkbox that we have for this summer. Now I'm just going to read some of your comments. Where did the McTominay reports come from? It said yesterday at Ten Hag saw him as key. The reports came from Manchester Evening News, who are a very reliable news source surrounding Manchester United. Jack Flintham, not sure what the correct pronunciation of his name is. I'll read it again. Erik Ten Hag is prepared to listen to offers for McTominay. That doesn't mean that McTominay is leaving next week or in 2 weeks. It just means that, well, from what I can understand from this, if a suitable offer comes in for him from a reasonable club, personal terms are all right, I can't see why Erik Ten Hag will keep him, because we'd get a bit of money for him. You'd probably get around 30 million for him. He's 25, 26. He's not young anymore. Let's not pretend that he is, but he does have a bit of room for improvement. I think maybe a couple of years ago we might have seen that his ceiling was a bit higher than it probably is, but I think with him now, you know what you're going to get. He could perform for a team fighting for Conference League, pushing Europa League football, or a mid-table club. I think he'd thrive in an environment like that. I think that the quality that we need at Manchester United just might be a bit too much for him, to be perfectly honest. In the nicest way possible, I think at most he is a squad player for us, but he could go and be a first team player somewhere else. He could perform in a team. He could perform on. Look, he has leadership qualities. He has the passion and he has the drive. You can tell that he works very hard on himself. He's been working obviously in pre-season with the pictures. Obviously everybody is. But if you send him to a Brighton, look, they've just got rid of Basuma. You could send McTominay to a team like Brighton. He could start for them, play 38 matches in the Premier League. Start 38 matches in the Premier League. He doesn't. I just don't think he can do it at Manchester United. He's coming on to it. He's approaching 30. Look, he's in the later half of his 20s. So think about it like that. When do you think we'll complete the deal, Dong? When do you think? Do you think we'll complete the De Jong deal by the end of the day? Probably not today. As I said a few minutes ago, and as someone said at the beginning of the stream, the shirts are getting released tomorrow, and it's looking likely that we're gonna unveil him on the weekend. According to Pletigo, so it would make sense. I reckon the deal's probably already 99% done. He just has to do a medical. Definitely, everyone has to do a medical. I don't know what else has to be completed. We're just looking to unveil him. Replying to Gerald Almeida, delete to United as possible. Nah, too expensive. Juventus would want money for him, and when I say money, you're probably looking at something more expensive than we played for Harry Maguire. Also, Manchester City are linked with him as well as Chelsea. So I don't really want Delete, to be perfectly honest with you. I think the perfect time to get him would have been when he moved to Juventus, but obviously he chose them over us, and I don't blame him for that. Mohammed, I'm not MUFC. I'm just a person on YouTube talking for MUFC. We should go for Sangare. I'm a big fan of Sangare. I think he'd be perfect for us. We only have one DM in Scott McTominay. Garner is essential. McTominay is not a defensive midfielder. He is a box-to-box. Oopsie daisy. He is a box-to-box midfielder, which I think is his best position. But even then, I don't think he's good enough in his perfect role for us. He's proven over the past 3 or 4 years that he's inconsistent. However, he is consistent. He's inconsistent because he might have a good game every 7 or 8 games, but he's consistently average or just below average, and you can't have that when you're fighting. Well, when you're meant to be fighting for the league, when you're meant to be fighting for cup competitions, I mean talking the big ones like, well, you're in Europa League or the Champions League, you can't have Scott McTominay anchoring your midfield. It just doesn't work. When McTominay is coming up against Verratti, when he's coming up against De Jong, when he's coming up against Rodri, all of these other players, he's just not going to win those battles. Obviously, players have good days and players have bad days. McTominay has had very good matches for us, and I'm not going to pretend that he hasn't, because he has. Especially, he loves to play against Leeds. He does all right. He did all right against Manchester City a couple times, but when you play in those derby matches and those really big, heavy hitting grudge matches, you get that in you. When you're playing FIFA, you're playing against your friends, you're leaning forward and you're doing this and that to beat them. When McTominay is playing against Liverpool, when he's playing against City, Arsenal, and teams like Leeds, he's going to be leaning forward in his seat, metaphorically. He's going to be trying his absolute hardest, but it's just the matches against the Burnleys and the Brightons and even the Huddersfields, when it doesn't matter as much, he just goes missing, and it's just not good enough. It's really not good enough. You need someone like a Rodri. We're getting in De Jong, so he's perfect. You need someone like him who's going to be a consistent 7 or 8 out of 10. But with that 7 or 8 out of 10, he's going to be technically gifted. He's going to be a genuine force in the midfield. And I don't mean a physical force, because that's not what Frankie De Jong is. He's going to be one of our better players, and he's going to be one of the better central midfielders in the league. And that's what we need. And I would say, again, next to him, I'd put Fred. I think Fred is better than McTominay. I think he is the better half of that marriage. And I think that he's more consistent. Obviously, last season he played quite well for the majority of it. And I think that would be a good partnership. Christian Tafani, I am not MPB. I'm just the guy on YouTube talking for MPB. Who is reporting this McTominay story? Jack Flinton from the Manchester Evening News, who are a very reliable source when it comes to news surrounding Manchester United. Hey, buddy, we never went in for De Ligt. De Ligt just said this after his move to Juve. It was just fake rumours. As I didn't say we went in for the De Ligt. I said it would have been good to get him when he went to Juve. I think that would have been the right time for us to go in for him. I don't think the right time is now. Maybe in the future, because he's still very young. I think he's 24 or something. He would just be too expensive right now, and he's not on our list, to be perfectly honest. You'll get, yes, there is over 100 of you. Make sure you do smash a like. I've seen a few of you have subscribed already. Make sure you put the notification bell on as well, so you know that when I'm live. Yeah, make sure you smash a like and subscribe. McTominay has powerful allies in Fergie and Fletcher. The Scottish connection. Scott will do a job as a CDM. You're not wrong. McTominay does have a lot of fans, but I don't think that's because of his quality. I think that's because of his personality. And again, with Manchester United, I don't think that should be the reason he gets in the team. I don't think personality or I picked up the cones at the end of the training session. I was a vocal person in the change room, because when you're on the pitch, when you're hiding from the ball, when you're misplacing pass after pass after pass, when you're doing the wrong thing on a consistent basis and really only getting in the team because we don't have anyone else, I don't think that's a reason for him to be a first team starter next season. Yeah, first team squad player, sit on the bench. There's 5 subs now, so he's obviously going to get a bit of game time. But maybe start 10 or 15 games in the league at the very most. Come on as a sub, play the cup matches, play Europa League early stages, but hopefully once we get to the latter stages, he shouldn't be starting. Late 20s, he's 25. He's not young. He's halfway to 30. He's almost 20. Who's 20? McTominay isn't 22, or are you talking about De Ligt? What is a good price for McTominay? Now, I was thinking about this before the stream started. He's 25 or approaching 26. Plays for Manchester United. You know what you're going to get with McTominay. He'd probably be very, very good starter at a team pushing for Conference League or Europa League. You could probably get around 25 if you're really trying to push the boundary. You could probably get 30 million for him if a team silly enough comes in to pay that money. But realistically, you probably get 20 million for him, I think, and that could go into another transfer. Look, the money we saved on the De Jong deal through negotiating is the money that we spent on Malacia. So who knows, if we manage to get 20, 25, 30 million for McTominay, we could get Sangarian, because that's probably what you pay for him as well. Is there any reason why the previous managers love McSauce and even call him a future captain? I would say they would call him a future captain because of his personality and his leadership skills. I think there was a reason. I think the reason why they loved him so much in terms of him starting every match is that we just didn't have anybody else. When Herrera was here, it was Herrera and Fred or Herrera and Pogba. McTominay wasn't playing that much. Herrera left, McTominay came in. Then you have an aging Matic who, for whatever reason, just couldn't do 90 minutes twice a week. So who else do you have? You have Pogba, who would be playing on the left. He'd be playing in front until Bruno came in. There just wasn't really anybody else who you could put in that position and do a job. And that's why I think McTominay was loved so much. Obviously, Fred is loved as well. Some people think McTominay is better than Fred. I think Fred is better than McTominay, but that's just my personal opinion. Scottish connection. Remember, Fergie gave his crown to David Moyes, of all people. Yeah, so Ferguson didn't make that many mistakes, but I think that was one of his worst. Why are we talking about players who won't help us win trophies? We're talking about players, McTominay, who won't help us win trophies because, according to Manchester Evening News, Erik ten Hag is open to listening to offers for him. But moving on a little bit to Lisandro Martinez. A bit of Lisandro Martinez news. An update from MUFC. According to Scott Saunders and Graham Bailey, who write for 90 Min Football, Lisandro Martinez now supposedly is Erik ten Hag's #1 defensive target. which I take as we're probably out of the race for Yuri and Timber. We're definitely not in for Delit if anybody thought we were. We're not in for Koulibaly if anybody thought we were. It just seems that Lisandro Martinez is the last option available, which definitely does put him up to the number one defensive target. However, Terry Flewers, who writes for Give Me Sport and I think is the host of The Terrace, has said that the deal between Lisandro Martinez and Arsenal is advanced. I don't know his credibility, so I can't say that is 100% true, but that's just what is being reported. If that... Sorry, one sec. There is a not. I think someone is trying to get into my house, which would be an unfortunate occurrence because I'm home alone and my parents aren't here. If that is true, saying that Arsenal and Lisandro Martinez have an advanced deal, then Martin Blackburn, who writes for The Sun, is completely wrong, because he said Lisandro Martinez previously admitted he was happy to join Arsenal, but reuniting with Ten Hag would perhaps change his mind. Ajax would want a bid of around £43 million. I would prefer to go with The Sun's Martin Blackburn as a more reliable source regarding Lisandro Martinez. But if we are unable to get Lisandro Martinez, if Terry Flewers is correct and the deal with Arsenal is advanced, what other this is a question for you guys in the chat. What other centre-back options would you go for at a reasonable price of, let's say, maximum £40 million, that could come in and actually start for Manchester United alongside Rafael Varane? It seems we're out of the race for Yuri and Timber. It wouldn't even be such a bad thing if he stays at Ajax for another season and comes next summer. Gives him a chance to develop more. But yeah, what do you guys in the chat think? Are Frankie de Jong and Malacia 100% here we go? I'm not Fabrizio Romano, but if I was, I would say yeah. Isn't Pau Torres a Woodward signing? I don't think he's a Ten Hag target, in my opinion. We should go full in for Lisandro. I don't think Pau Torres is a Woodward signing. I think Pau Torres is just a very good defender who could be open to a move to Manchester United. There hasn't been much progression with that. I know we were linked with him heavily a few weeks ago, but there hasn't been much more reported on that. It could happen, I don't know, but I can't say that it will. Ndika, is that the one from Eintracht Frankfurt? I believe that is the one from Eintracht Frankfurt. I know there is another French centre-back in the Bundesliga that has a similar name, so I'm not sure if you're talking about him. Timber needs more first 11 game time. But that's the thing. If he came into Manchester United, he would start. He wouldn't sit on the bench. He would start. He's played under Ten Hag. He's very good and has a very high ceiling. He's good across the ground. I mean, he's fast on the... He's quick, he's pacey, he's good on the ball and has a good... defensive intelligence. I don't see why anybody think Timber would come in and sit on the bench. It wouldn't make sense. Terry is a bit clickbaitish. I can understand that because I've never seen... I don't follow Arsenal news like that unless it's the big ones reporting it. So I don't know what he's like, but it does make sense if he's a bit clickbaitish. We laughed at Pep for spending 500 million on a back four. I think Erik ten Hag will buy more than 5 to 6 centre-backs or full-backs in the next 2 years. You think? I don't think he'll be able to. I think if he had the budget and the unlimited bank account that Pep does, he might, but I don't think he will. Why do you think we haven't sold Maguire yet? Club captain, we bought him for 80 mil, and he's on incredibly high wages. I think he's on 250,000 a week. Why would he want to slash his wages? Why would he want to leave Manchester United when he's a club captain? He's 29. What other teams would be able to come in for him, offer him not the same wages, but wages that he would accept, and where would he go? We do this a lot. That's why we still have Phil Jones. We can't get rid of him. Inacio is a decent left-footed centre-back. Is that the one from... He plays in Portugal. Is he from Sporting Lisbon? I think that's the one from Sporting Lisbon. Lisandro Martinez could play DM with Frankie. We have a limited budget, yeah. I don't think we should be spending 43 on a utility. I think we should be spending 43 on someone that's going to come in and cement a place in a position. I know they're all reasons to sell because it's Maguire, but what would we even get for him? We're not going to get 80 million for him. We're not going to get 70. We're not going to get 60. We're not going to get 50. You probably get 35, 40 for him. Everyone's seen what he's about. It's not like someone might not have seen his lapses in concentration, his errors that lead to goals, his defensive poor positioning, his lack of pay. People will know about this. Scouting systems, especially at the bigger clubs, are very, very vigorous, and they will know everything about Harry Maguire. We wouldn't get anything close to 80 million for him. That's another reason why I don't think we'd be able to sell him. Yeah, Nasio is from Sporting. I can't say that I know anything about him, to be honest with you. But I do know that we have been linked with him already. Eric should pick up the phone and call Timber and assure him of first team status and get the deal done. But then at the same time, on the other line, you have Louis van Gaal saying if you go to Manchester United, you might not be able to retain your place in the starting 11 for the World Cup. So, you know, Timber will start many games for United. He'll be Ten Hag's Kyle Walker. I don't think so, because he won't be playing right back. What did I just see? Big Ron saying, is anyone concerned with signing squad players as opposed to ones who impact the first team? Shaw will be first choice left back. No defender will displace Maguire, world's most expensive centre back, and Varane. Spot on. Apart from the Shaw bit, I think that. Look, when Tellers came in, he pushed Shaw on, yes, and Shaw had his best ever season when Tellers came in. But I think that Malacia will come in and probably displace Shaw. It might not happen instantly, but I think once Malacia gets his place in the team, I can't see Shaw starting games, especially the big games. I beg we go for anyone else other than Anthony. I'm fine if he is 60 mil, but nothing more. 60 mil is the most I'd pay. That's only if we're able to offload some players and raise some funds. I think 45 or 50 million is what we should be trying to look at. Interrep says Skriniar is for sale. What's your opinion? Solid UCL proved centre defender and only 1 year left on his contract. I would like Skriniar, yes, but think about it from a different point of view. We're in the Europa League. He plays Champions League football. Just like everybody else, apparently, they'll be looking at who we bring in, because he won't want to come in and potentially not even start over Maguire, firstly. He won't want to come in and play in a leaky back four, secondly. He won't want to come in into a mess, thirdly. He's not young. I want to say he's 27. That's just a guess, but I think I'm right by 1 year either side. He's aging. He's approaching 30. He doesn't want to come and spend the last very good years of his career playing in a messy Manchester United team. And I think that could be that could also be said for other Manchester United targets. That might be a reason why we struggle to sign some players. I mean, whatever we get for Maguire, Jones, William, etc., we can buy Timber, Frankie, and more. How much, Danny? How much do you think we can get for all of those combined? Jones, you're looking at 5 mil if we can get rid of him. Williams, 10 to 15 because he's young and he has potential. Maguire, 40 mil. So you're looking at around 50 mil. Yes, you could sign Timber for that. But I just don't think it will happen. Genuinely curious, are you the person? No, I'm just someone else on the YouTube. I think we need at least 6 players. You can get not McTominay. You can get Romero in as a backup keeper because Dean Henderson's gone. That's 1. Frankie de Jong, Christian Eriksen, Anthony or a right winger. So that's 4. Lissandro Martinez, 5. I still want another central defensive. Well, I still want a central defensive midfielder because de Jong is not that. Sangare, 6. And Malacia, so 7. I think I think once the window gets kick-started, I think that we could be doing some decent business. I'm not saying it's going to be the perfect window unless we sign a defensive midfielder, because that's a problem that we've had for years, and I just don't understand why it hasn't been sorted. I feel like we only have a 50% chance of Eriksen. I don't know why everyone is so confident. Why would he leave a team that has supported him and has all Danish players? Because we're better than Brentford. We offer European football. We offer higher wages. And he's worked with Erik ten Hag before. That's why I'm confident. Do you think we'll get a here we? The new top is being released tomorrow, not today. It's interesting as it is a World Cup year. Players will not want to sit on the bench. Perfect point. Perfect point. The Winter World Cup is kind of messed with a lot of people regarding transfers a little, especially with Timber. I think if the World Cup was in the summer, Timber might be a Manchester United player by now. If he isn't starting, why wouldn't LVG pick him? If he's starting, why wouldn't LVG pick him? LVG said he needs to be playing. That's the problem. That was the confusion, because Timber wouldn't come in and sit on the bench. He'd come in and start pretty much every match. I bet my life on it. I just think that I've always thought LVG was salty with Manchester United. I just had that opinion of him. I don't... Obviously, he came in, he won the FA Cup, and then he got sacked. The club obviously wasn't very well run, but I don't see why he's still holding a grudge. Thoughts on Ahmad? In my opinion, he's the most technically gifted forward we have. Wow. He just needs to work on end product. I couldn't... he's not the most technically gifted forward we have. Martial is more technically gifted. Jadon Sancho, I would say, is our most technically gifted forward. I don't think Ahmad can come in at all and start next season. I think he needs to go on loan to a Premier League side or a team that's going to be playing at least a team that he's going to go to and play in Europe. Not saying Champions League, Europa League probably, or even the Conference League. But when he went to Rangers, he just didn't play. I think it was just pointless transfer in my opinion. What else was I going to say? But yeah, with Malacia coming in as well, by the way, Tellers and Williams. Williams is a utility fullback, right back and left back. But Tellers and Williams apparently, according to Paul Hurst, writing for the Times Sport, could be leaving Manchester United. Combined, you could probably get about 20 mil, 25 mil for them. Actually, let's do a thing right now. With all the players that could possibly leave, Tellers is one, Williams is another, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is another. I think it's three players that could leave, if I'm missing someone blatantly obvious. You could probably get around 40 million for three of those. I think... Listen, I know it's not career mode, it's not Football Manager, but I think what we need to do as a club, what Manchester United needs to do as a club, is they probably obviously already done this, but haven't made it public. They need to have a list of all the players that they're going to get rid of and just get rid of them. Get their agents to offer them out to different clubs and just get as much money as you can so you have a definite transfer budget, because at the moment it's just speculation. I'm hearing 120, 170, 100, 140. There's nothing there that's saying we have a definite amount, and I think there probably isn't even. Erik ten Hag probably doesn't even know. Oh, you think Twanzebe, Jones? We're not getting rid of Jones. I can't see us getting rid of Phil Jones. What's that? My throat is getting really dry. Dean Henderson's leaving on loan, so we wouldn't get a fee for him. Pereira, you get maximum 10 mil. Free, you get rid of wages. Very, very true. We've got a lot of wage recuperation from Pogba, Cavani, especially. Chong. I don't see why we couldn't have just done a Chong maybe plus nothing for Malacia, to be honest. Sell Tellers to Feyenoord or Lyon. It makes too much sense. It's too easy. Williams 10 mil. Tellers 15. Wan-Bissaka 20 to 25. Eric 15 mil. Could try the likes of Chong or no. Oh, I thought you were going to say to start. Could try the likes of Chong or Ahmad to Ajax for Anthony plus cash. Could do. We could do that, to be fair. That would make sense. I believe if we sign De Jong, we still have the weakest midfield in the top 6. Would have a stronger midfield than Arsenal, I believe. But the other... Tottenham as well. Who have Tottenham just signed in midfield? Didn't they sign a central midfielder? They signed Bentancur in January. They play... Do you know who I thought would have been perfect at the time? Højbjerg, when he went to Tottenham. When I say at the time, I mean like a couple of months later when I clocked he went to Tottenham. Sell the club to us, Qatar Investment Fund. Funny. Could try. Do you think we can sell Telles for 20 mil? Absolutely not, because we didn't even sign him for 20 million. I think we signed him for 12 from Porto, or 15. Ahmad is very underrated, which is fair, but he's going to pop off soon. He has to get game time somewhere else if he's going to pop off soon, to be honest. I don't think he can pop off at Manchester United next season. The centre-backs for the Dutch team are Van Dijk, De Ligt, De Vrij, Ake, and then players like Timber. He's not a starter for the Dutch team. I've not even included Sven Botman. Timber is down the pecking order. Again, another reason why I think Louis van Gaal was just salty about what happened at Man United. Basuma to Spurs for 25 mil. That's who they signed. I don't think we have the worst midfielder in the top 6 if we get De Jong. Because the only better central midfielders in the top 6 than De Jong would be... Okay, go through Manchester City. I'm not going to include Rodri because he's a defensive midfielder. But the only better central midfielders would be Kante. But they're kind of two different type of players. I still think Kante is world class. Tottenham don't have a better midfielder than Frankie de Jong. Do Chelsea, apart from Kante, have a better midfielder than Frankie de Jong? Manchester City, De Bruyne, Gundogan, maybe. Who finished? Liverpool. Here's a question for you guys. Is Thiago better than Frankie de Jong? Like, bias aside, do you think Thiago is better than Frankie de Jong? Whilst you guys answer that, thoughts on De Gea? He's very divided in the fan base. Last of our problems. De Gea is the last of our problems. To be honest, that's my opinion. Remember, guys, as well, to like and subscribe to the video. I've seen a good few of you guys. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. Absolutely brilliant from you guys. No. Is that to me saying De Gea is the last of our problems? I think we have a lot of problems in the squad, but De Gea is so far down the list. Yes, obviously there are better keepers out there that we could get, but I don't think that's money that you should be spending. In terms of playmaking. Wait. I don't know if you guys are responding to Thiago question or De Gea. I think Thiago... Yeah, Thiago's in his 30s. I personally think Frankie de Jong is better than Thiago. But what we all have to get ready for is the Frankie de Jong slander. Oh, Frankie de Jong isn't even that good. Frankie de Jong's overrated. Oh, he's only signing because Erik ten Hag wants him. I think that we're going to have to get ready for that because obviously he is signing for Manchester United. No, then Dean Henderson won't be the number 1 by this time next year unless he does something absolutely magical and not enough. Unless he gets the Golden Glove and only concedes 10 goals, I don't think he comes in and starts over De Gea. Not next season, but the season after next. Who was your Anthony replacement? Listen, I've said this to my friends. I don't even want to say it on here because I'm going to get rinsed for it. But I've always liked St. Maximin. I think put him in a team when you've got Ronaldo up front, you've got better service, and you've got way better players around him. I think he kicks on. I think St. Maximin is a very, very good player. I like St. Maximin a lot. I think he'd fit in amazing at Manchester United. Right now, everyone can be up for sale except for CR7 and De Gea, Varane and Sancho. The rest can be sold. Realistically, no, but theoretically, yeah. I don't want Dembele, too injury prone. I'd have liked to see us go get someone like Danjuma. He plays off the left, and we have Sancho on the left. Manchester is red. Someone get this guy out of the chat. Oh God. Yeah, but St. Maximin. Yeah, I like him a lot. He'd be pricey. Probably get him for this cheaper than Anthony though. Gnabry's an interesting one, because I think he's more of an. I think Gnabry's more of an inside forward by nature. Like, he's such a good striker of the ball. He's a very, very good finisher. I just think that if he came in, you'd probably even play him up front behind Ronaldo. But he obviously does play off the right for Bayern Munich, but they've got Lewandowski up front. Bruno says Ronaldo isn't leaving. Source Fabrizio. I haven't seen that. If that's true, then cool. I didn't expect him to leave anyway. McTominay. Ten Hag is open. Is prepared to listen to offers for McTominay. Doesn't mean he's leaving. What do you guys think of St. Maximin? Welcome from Ghana. Tiki Taka FC. Can't buy the Gucci headband. No way Newcastle will sell unless we overpaid. Exactly. Like, he'd be expensive. I've always liked him, but he would be expensive. He's obviously not going to come to Manchester United. But haven't you ever thought, look, St. Maximin he's a dribbler. He's a showman. He shows off. And he's very, very capable of beating 3 or 4 players at once. But then at the same time, when he looks up and he's swinging in balls to Chris Wood and Dwight Gale, compared to if he's looking up and seeing Cristiano Ronaldo in the box, I think when you have that presence there, when you have the quality around him, I think your game changes. When you play with better players, you get better yourself. It's a natural thing. Big season for Martial. Well, big season for Martial. Yes, big season for Martial. Yeah, he's one of the best dribblers in the league. He runs funny, but it's effective. Good afternoon, Charles. I thought your name was Charles Bonglahor for a second. Igbindalor. I don't think that St. Maximin has a ceiling of players like Anthony Sancho. Sancho's different. Look, Sancho's way different. He's different class. Hit up the United view, guys, man. Oh, is that like another channel? Oh, message them, I guess. I just saw a question and I really wanted to answer it, but I can't see it anymore. Where is the question? Here it is. It was Tiki Taka FC. It wasn't a question. In terms of playmaking, he's better, but they are toe to toe. This is back to the De Jong and Thiago question. I just think that I don't know. It's a tricky one. They are toe to toe, so I agree with you there. I just think that De Jong is better. I hate Manchester United. I hate Manchester United. I'm a big fan of Manchester United. It's a love-hate relationship. I love Manchester United. I'd do anything for the club, but they do get on my nerves. They get on my nerves a whole lot. I'll tell you that for free. The MUFC MPB who just wrote hi all is MUFC MPB, but I am Anton Brooks. I'm Brooks. Don't call me Anton. Call me Brooks. I just do the YouTube. That is the difference. Let's all welcome the founding father. Thoughts on Van der Beek role this season? He's going to have a very big role. Ten Hag, no, look, it's not going to be a thing where... Because when Ranić came in, everyone was like, oh yeah, Van der Beek's going to get game time because Ranić knows ball. Went out on loan. When Ten Hag's gonna come. When Ten Hag comes in, he's played with Van der Beek before. He used him. He was one of the main. He was one of the main players in the core. You had De Ligt, you had De Jong, you had Ziyech, you had Frankie De Jong. I believe those were the four main players that Ten Hag built the team around, and I think that Van der Beek is going to be one of the main players for Manchester United. MUFC, MPB, sign him up, sign up Anton. Definitely. Brooks, Ibs and Big Ron link up in the chat. Come on. Any Dumfries news? I haven't heard any Dumfries news. I still would like him. I still would like him in the right back position. Have any of you guys seen the Aaron Wan-Bissaka? He's posting, he's training. He is Malacia. Here we go today. Is that an exclusive from MUFC MPB in the chat? What did I say a few days ago? Malacia is going to be the first Ten Hag arrival. I think I might be right. If we get Tielemans, which we probably won't, I don't see Donny playing much unless we have a good rotation, which Ten Hag doesn't do apparently. Rotations. I think that unless you're Pep Guardiola, who has 2 or 3 players in every position, rotation doesn't happen that much if you're a massive top side. Liverpool don't rotate that much, and look what they can do. Real Madrid don't rotate that much. Bayern Munich don't rotate that much. His training looked poor, I can't lie, but I do respect he's working on his weaknesses. Yeah, his training does look poor. I think his training looks poor because of his body mannerisms. Like the way he dribbles is not orthodox. He doesn't use his left foot that much. He's all side foot. He's all inset in terms of like he doesn't kick the ball with his laces. He doesn't kick the ball with the ball of his foot. I don't know if you guys know what that means. I know what that means in my head, but I'll see if I can explain it better if you guys don't. It's all inset. I think those things work in his disadvantage because he's been in certain positions and it's like he can't get the right foot technique to deliver a cross, or he can't get the right foot technique to play a pass, so he either doesn't play the pass or he messes it up. And I think that's something that won't change with Wan-Bissaka because that's his body, it's how he's been playing football his whole life. It doesn't change overnight. But he is working on his game. He's obviously trying to prove to Ten Hag that he does deserve another chance at Manchester United. 100%, Danny. We'll definitely have more of the ball this season. Ten Hag loves the possession. But that's what we need to do. We need to be able to dominate games. We need to be able to actually win the midfield battles because for years we've just been losing. You put McFred in the midfield and we lose midfield battles against Huddersfield. We lose it against Brighton, Norwich. We lose it against everyone. Bissaka is better than Dalot in terms of natural ability. I don't know. I don't know about that. He's better defensively than Dalot, but I think other than that, that's the only thing he has on him. Yeah, Dalot is our worst fullback defensively, apart from Alex Telles. Goodness gracious me, he's made his own class there. Martial backup striker, yeah. I think he will be the backup striker. Obviously, Cavani's not here anymore. If the Anthony move fails, should we re-sign Dan James? Big Ron, stop it. Stop that. No, I'm not having that over here. What do you guys think of Dan James? Should we re-sign him if we don't get Anthony? Look, as I said, there's a couple more of you here. I like St. Maximin. I also like Gnabry, but I don't think we're going for him. Domenico Berardi from Sassuolo. There was another winger in my head, but I cannot remember him. Moussa Diaby from Bayer Leverkusen is another good winger. We haven't been linked properly to any of them. Those are just 4 players who I think would come in and do very, very well for Manchester United if we don't manage to get Anthony. I do think we will get Anthony. He's injured at the moment. That's why I don't think we'd be getting him to anytime soon, because it wouldn't make sense. Let's get Igalo and Dan James. In my opinion, they're better than Ronaldo and Sancho. Oh God, Igalo's Jogo Bonito goal against someone, I can't remember the name of the team in the Europa League. He's not Nigerian. He's Brazilian by nature. I've always said that Fred is Angolan as well. Come on, peeps, smash a like. Definitely smash. How many? I'm streaming on Streamlabs right now, and I can't. Hopefully this isn't loud. How many likes are we on right now? How do I even check? 54 likes. Let's get it to 60 likes, guys. 913 subscribers as well. Let's get that to 920. I looked at the analytics yesterday for yesterday's stream. 87% of you weren't subscribed. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Get MUFC MPB to 1,000 subscribers by Sunday. We've got 87 left. We can definitely do it. All of you have to subscribe. Daily content coming out, and hopefully in the future we will have more inclusive videos. What my team would be for next season. The more fun videos for you guys. Just asking, what do you think of a back three? Nope. No, Danny, your mind is in the right place, but no. It's criminal. Had over 100 here earlier. Yeah, man. You know, I do it as well. Like, I don't remember to like videos. I don't remember to subscribe. I'll just watch a video and leave. But make sure you guys like and subscribe. Follow MEFC MPB on Twitter as well if you haven't been following them already. Constant updates on Manchester United news. All Manchester United transfer news go through MUFC MPB. Also follow me on Twitter. I do other stuff as well. So does Ibs. Would you give Fred a new contract? Yeah, I'd probably give Fred a new contract, to be perfectly honest. I'd probably give him a new contract. He's a good player. He's a really good player to have in a squad. Anton will wear a Man City shirt if we get... No. First of all, I don't have a Man City shirt, and I'm not buying one. I'll wear my Eric Ten Hag ball cap if we get to 1,000 subscribers. If we get to 1k subs... If all of you subscribe right now, we could probably get close to 1k subs, and I'll put on the Eric Ten Hag ball cap. I will do that. Which article says McTominay is for sale? No article says McTominay is for sale. What the article says, the Manchester Evening News, Eric Ten Hag is prepared to listen to offers for McTominay. That's what the article says. Brennan Johnson from North Forest, give him a season in the Premier, then we and other teams will be able to see where he fits in the Premier League. He might not do well in the Premier League. We never know. We got a couple more subscribers. Thank you guys. We got 6 subscribers in the past couple minutes. Thank you guys for subscribing. Keep smashing the subscribe button. We got 61 likes now. Let's get that to 100 by the end of this episode. Come on, guys, you can do it. If we get Frankie de Jong, what's my starting 11? I honestly wish. First of all, before I do that, hopefully soon there will be like better like on-screen graphics, like a better background. I want it to look as good as possible for you guys. I don't want you have to be staring just at my face for the whole time. I can understand that might be a traumatic experience, but hopefully there will be new graphics sooner rather than later. But my starting 11, if Frankie de Jong comes in, I'm going to include Malacia in that because we are getting him. In goal, I'd go over 4-2-3-1, by the way. In goal, I would have David De Gea. Left back, I would have Terrell Malacia. Left centre back, I would have... It's going to have to be Lindelof next to Varane. So left centre back is going to be Varane. Right centre back is going to be Lindelof. Right back is going to be... Look, it's gonna... I'd probably have Dalot. And I'd probably have Dalot because I think he's better going forward than Wan-Bissaka. And when you're playing under Ten Hag, the fullbacks have to push on. Centre-back split. And you're going to be on the ball quite a lot. So I'd have Dalot. The 2 central midfielders are going to be Frankie de Jong and probably Fred. On the left, I'd have Sancho. On the right, I would have I'd have to go with Rashford. No, I'd go over Langer on the right. Then at attacking midfield, I'd have Bruno Fernandes, and up front, of course, I'd have Ronaldo. So De Gea, Malacia, Varane, Lindelof, Dalot, De Jong and Fred, or Fred and De Jong. Then Sancho, Fernandes, Elanga, and then Ronaldo up front. Hopefully we don't have to use Elanga next season as the main right winger. Hopefully we have Anthony. But that would be my starting 11. Thank you guys for the continuous subscriptions. Keep it coming, keep it coming. Maybe the budget is dynamic and is like that on purpose so we don't get overcharged on players. What benefit would it do for the club to actually announce the budget? Nothing. Of course, obviously Manchester United aren't going to come out publicly and be like, yes, we have £150 million to spend. You have sources close to the club which information gets not leaked but told to, and then it comes out. You can choose whether to believe it or not. Martinez currently taking personal terms with Arsenal. Maybe Terry Flewers is right for the bald cap. Yeah, I'm in for the bald cap as well. I bought that bald cap for a very specific reason, to Eric Ten Hag related, and I'm very excited and hopefully going to be using it soon. The quicker the subscriptions reach 1,000, the quicker you'll see me in a bald cap. And do you think that 11 will give us a chance against City? No, it's not good enough. But then again, we've beaten Manchester City quite frequently under Solskjaer with a very inferior starting 11. On paper, it wouldn't match up, but on the pitch, derby days, grudge matches, form goes out the window. Anybody can win. Rashford Neymar swap. Are you still dreaming? You are definitely dreaming. PSG wouldn't do that. I would take Neymar. I don't care. I'd take Neymar. Sometimes a player is just too good to say, oh, we don't like what we think he might do to the club. It's Neymar. You're thinking that we'd probably get big money for McTominay because he's McTominay. He's a Manchester United academy product. We definitely try and charge a lot. I think maximum 30 mil, 35 mil. The stream is winding down and is coming to a close. If you guys have any more questions, make sure to ask them now. If you guys have any questions in 10 minutes or need something finding out in 10 minutes, follow MUFCMPB on Twitter. The Twitter handle is in the description below, as well as my Twitter handle. Sergio Romero would excite me way more than signing Prime Messi or something. We do need a backup keeper. Henderson is on the way out, and I don't think Tom Heaton is good enough to be a backup keeper. Is there any more questions, guys, before I end the stream? Open on Goldbridge. What do you mean? I play central midfield. I mean, Ghana isn't going back to Nottingham Forest, apparently, because they're getting Dean Henderson. So unless another team comes in for him, I guess he is staying. But he does have... Oh, opinions on Goldbridge. I like Goldbridge. I watch the United stand every day. I like his charisma. I like the fact that he just doesn't care about stating his opinion. I think more of that is needed. I think too many people in this journalistic world, because he is a fan channel host, but at the same time he could come off as a journalist. He has the links, he has the attraction, he has the credibility now, whether you like it or not. I studied sports journalism at university, and Mark Goldbridge is a sports journalist, whether you like it or not. He is that. He has a lot of credibility now. I think some people get confused between when he gives his opinion, they might think that that's him saying this is going to happen or not. But I like Mark Goldbridge a lot. I respect him a lot, to be honest. We should get someone Prem proven to partner De Jong. I'd go over Till. I don't want Neves. I take Tillemar, but I don't want Neves. Oh yes, FIFA career mode. You just reminded me. I have a poll currently on my Twitter. Go and follow it in the description down below. I stream FIFA. I stream other games as well, but I play a lot of FIFA. I will be starting a career mode tomorrow. Go and vote on who you think should be. I'm actually going to go and pin the tweet in a second. So go and vote on who you think should who I should do the career mode on. Who's your idol footballer? Is that like growing up or right now? I'll say that my favourite footballer growing up was Kaká. Kaká was the man who made me fall in love with football. I support Man United, as you guys know. I was watching football as early as I can remember, but when we got knocked out by AC Milan in the 2007 Champions League, Kaká tore us to shreds. That was when I sat up and started to appreciate, wow, this is amazing. He was my first love in football, Kaká, and I still watch compilations of him to today. My idol, I guess, it would have to be Kaká then, wouldn't it? Do you what? Big Ron, what are you talking about? The United Stand and MUFC MPB collab. If you guys make it happen, it will be absolutely amazing. I'm sure Mark Goldbridge would love to be on this channel. It would be an honour for him to be on this channel. Goldbridge is worth watching for his Alan Partridge moments. Yeah, he's very funny as well. Build your team around Frankie, definitely. When am I back on? I'm going to be back on tomorrow for another stream. There might be 2 streams on this channel tomorrow. I do actually have another job, so I have to think about that as well. But I will be streaming like myself tomorrow as well. But yeah, it's been very fun, guys. I love it when people talk in the comments. A lot of interaction is definitely needed, and I'm enjoying this massively. Make sure, if you haven't already, to subscribe. Share this video. Share yesterday's video. We're trying to get that to 10k views as well. And put the notifications on so you know when I'm going to go live on this channel, because streams might just pop up. They might not be planned 2 hours in advance. It might just be right there for you. But thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you massively, and I will be back tomorrow with another stream of Manchester United news. Remember to follow MUFC MPB on Twitter as well as myself, and I will see you soon. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Oh, dream signing.